Hi, I'm Liz King from Greater Boston Trade Justice. Our mission is to have NAFTA renegotiated to serve the needs of people, not corporations, and to protect our planet. President Trump gave notice to Congress that NAFTA, the North American Free Trade Agreement, will be renegotiated. On August 15th, negotiations will begin. The wish is that negotiations will be completed quickly, this year, because in July 2018, there are elections for president in Mexico. López Obrador, a left-leaning populist candidate, is at the moment well ahead in the polls. President Trump promised that he would change NAFTA to make it better. Better for whom?
My name is Larry Stout. I'm a member of Greater Boston Trade Justice. I'm also a member of 350 and a member of the Democratic Committee from Framingham, Massachusetts. Biggest problem with NAFTA is that it includes a clause that's called the International Dispute Settlement System. That system is set up as an arbitration board. Any company outside of your own company covered by the trade agreement can sue your country under the tribunal. And the tribunal consists of three people. One is supposedly for the state, one is for the company, and the other is a quote-unquote neutral. What this does is, in fact, it raises transnational and international corporations to the level of a state. Since the arbitrator's decisions cannot be appealed in any state or international court. So if you get into a situation with a corporation such as TransCanada, they filed a suit against the United States for $15 billion under ISDS and under the NAFTA. What happened with Mexico is a classic example of what's the matter with this trade agreement. The Mexican government was forced to alter its own constitution so that it could become a member of NAFTA with a bunch of promises of what would happen. In reality, what did happen is when they altered their constitution to take away the rights of rural peasants to guaranteed small plots of property, what in fact happened is about 2 million Mexican peasants were driven off the land. And since they were unable to compete with North American subsidized corn, they lost their livelihoods, which means they lost their land. And guess who bought up the land? American agribusiness. So they have created a situation where millions of Mexicans have lost their ability to make a living in their own country, and many of them moved north.
My name is Gabriel Camacho. I work for the American Friends Service Committee, and we are a human rights organization founded in 1917, and we work on economic justice, which includes trade justice. We also work on prison justice issues and immigration. The immigrant community is approaching the issue in a number of ways. One is locally, which includes trying to enact municipal ordinances that would limit the cooperation of local law enforcement with federal immigration and customs enforcement. That's one thing. We have a number of jurisdictions throughout the Commonwealth that have enacted these ordinances. Some of them are resolutions, some of them are policies, but also on the statewide level, we are definitely organizing for the Safe Communities Act, which would be a statewide bill that would prohibit local law enforcement in any jurisdiction in the Commonwealth from cooperating with immigration and customs enforcement. It would also prohibit the use of any database in the Commonwealth for the purposes of creating a registry based on religion, ethnicity, race, or immigration status, i.e. a Muslim registry. So we think this is a worthwhile project that many immigrant communities throughout the Commonwealth are working on, as opposed to having a patchwork of different municipal ordinances that vary in details and et cetera, although those are very important.
Hello, my name is Mario Paredes. I'm a board member for Centro Presente. We are an immigrant rights nonprofit member-led in East Boston that works towards fighting for the rights of the immigrant community, specifically given our history fighting for the rights of the Central American immigrant community here in Boston and in Massachusetts as well. We really find it important to educate our members and empower them about the reasons, the structural reason as to why they were displaced from their countries of origin. And one of the really big themes that sometimes isn't talked about much is this issue of free trade agreements. For us, it's important to kind of pass on this message that displacement can be caused by many reasons, sometimes economic, sometimes corruption, sometimes gang warfare, but at the end of the day, there's all these reasons that come together, and free trade agreements really plays a large role in that, but it's something that's really isn't spoken about much. So it's our role to come in and really educate the population, educate our members, but also educate allies in the community as to how they can get involved and make sure that these types of trade policies and other policies by corporate elites in the U.S. and other countries as well aren't harming our communities, because at the end of the day, what ends up happening is they harm our communities in, for example, Central America, but at the end of the day, they're the ones that are getting blamed once they're forcibly displaced from these countries, coming into the U.S., seeking opportunities, but also running away from violence, running away from poverty. And it's our goal to educate, empower, and also, talk about some of the issues that aren't talked about much. Also talk about the fact that, a lot of the communities that are displaced are the most vulnerable. We're talking about children, and we're talking about young women who are forced to work under these, terrible conditions because corporate elites come into these countries, take over, and really are the ones dictating what the laws are, dictating what the hours, what the work conditions are. So we want to make sure that, we're always connecting this message of immigration to the larger context of capitalism and what free trade means and how it affects vulnerable population, vulnerable countries. And that's really our role, to come in and work alongside the community, empower them. We are a member-led organization. Our board is made up of immigrants themselves. Our staff members are made up of immigrants. And we've been in the community since the 80s, and we want to continue doing this work, and we hope that you could join us as well.
Hello, my name is Pablo Ruiz. I work with Service Employees International Union here in Massachusetts. My organization is SEIU Community Action. We work to organize and build power at the ward level in gateway cities across Massachusetts. I came to speak about a coalition that my union is a part of called Raise Up Massachusetts. Raise Up is a coalition of faith, labor, and community groups that are fighting for economic justice across the Commonwealth. Raise Up Massachusetts, at Raise Up Massachusetts, we see ourselves as an alternative to President Donald Trump's vision for America. We see the issues that are affecting working families as issues central to our coalition work. We are fighting for a $15 minimum wage. We are fighting for a fair share constitutional amendment. We are fighting for paid family medical leave. This scope, this slate of issues are issues that we feel will lift all workers and working families from the bottom up and reestablish a floor that is based more closely on livable wages. We know tonight, as a part of the discussion about NAFTA, that international trade policies have done damage to limit workers' ability to earn a living and a fair wage. But we also know that domestically there are things that we can do to continue to fight this anti-union climate that we've been under. And so we're looking to not just improve wages, but to improve benefits and bargain for the common good here in the Commonwealth, only bargaining at the ballot box. And so we ask you to visit raiseupma.org and stay involved and stay connected with the campaigns that are unfolding here in Massachusetts.